Welcome, coming to the mat to get clean, to purify both the body and the mind, keeping the vehicle as rust-free as possible and keeping the mind clean, the same way that you wouldn't fill a room in your house with tons and tons and tons of junk and then just close the door. The mind is the same thing. Opening that door, taking out what you don't need, releasing that which is no longer needed, making space so that we can be a better vehicle for something better. With all of that said, gathering everything that you might need for your practice, blocks, straps, blankets, and let's come and meet on the mat in Vajrasana. Widening the buttocks, rolling the shoulders back, which immediately opens the sternum and brings a brightness to the mind, an alertness. Gently closing the eyelids. The elbows are moving back, continually moving back, and the back armpits are moving forward. The elbows moving back, the back armpits moving forward. Soft, smooth inhalations. Soft, smooth exhalations. Feel the skin on the face relaxing, but feel the sternum plate lifting and broadening. Soft, smooth inhalations. Soft, smooth exhalations. And then lifting the hands, pressing the palms together. Opening our practice together with one Om. Inhale. And releasing the hands, lifting the chin back up and opening the eyelids. Coming now to Yoga Mudrasana in Vajrasana, so widening the knees apart just a little bit so that they can hold the ribs as we come forward. Fingertips to the floor, lifting the forearms up, checking that the elbows are straight, and then dropping the head gently down so the back of the neck is long. Soft, smooth inhalations, soft, smooth exhalations. Feeling our existence everywhere through the breath. Penetrating from the fingertips to the tips of the toes. The fingertips walking forward, the buttocks moving back. And then coming up, I'm going to hold the mat with our hands like this, turn the inner elbows forward, and find Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Looking at the legs, lift the heels high as you can, and bend the knees. Not a timid bend, but a deep bend. And then re-lift the heels. Keep the heels lifted, keep the knees bent, and lift the buttocks up higher to the sky. Stretch the arms. Now push the arms into the hands. And now move the armpits to the hips. Keep the heels lifted, keep the knees bent, keep the face relaxed. And slowly begin to straighten the legs, keeping the heels lifted, the buttocks rising, and keep moving the arms to the hands and the armpits to the hips. And then bending the knees and coming back down. Placing the hands on the mat, spreading the palms, spreading the fingers, lifting the left knee up, crossing the left knee completely behind the right, widening the feet apart and coming to sit on the mat. If it's too intense, taking a blanket, a block, and sitting on that. Trying to move the feet away from the outer thighs, keeping them in line with each other. Yoga Mudrasan, Gomukhasana 3, with the exhale coming forward. Looking at the eyes of the elbows, the inner elbows. Spiral the arms so that the inner elbows are facing the sky as you walk the fingertips forward. And now sending every third exhalation to the hips, to the right hip and the left hip. So you have to split the exhale so it enters both hips equally. Here we go, every third exhalation. Keep walking the fingertips forward. And then coming back up, back onto the hands and knees. Spreading the fingers widely, being present everywhere. Lifting the right knee up now and crossing it behind the left. Taking whatever supports might be needed, coming down. Widening the feet away from the outer thighs as much as possible. Exhaling forward, Yoga Mudrasan. Lift the forearms up, squeeze the elbows, and spiral the arms so the inner elbows face the sky. And sending every third exhalation to the hips, to the lower back, dividing the breath evenly between the left and the right side, starting now. Keep walking the fingertips forward, the face relaxed. And then coming back up, back onto the hands and knees. And exhale, releasing Vajrasana with the toes turned under. Bring the arms in front, interlock the fingers together, turn the palms out, straighten the elbows completely. Move the shoulder blades down the back and then lift the arms up, finding Parvatasana in Vajrasana with the toes turned under. Soft, smooth inhalations, soft, smooth exhalations. The body alert and rising, stretching the arms, feeling the armpits lift up with that, feeling the waist lengthen with that action, feeling the kidneys lift up with that. And then coming down halfway, we're going to change the interlock. Tips of the thumbs touching, turn the palms back out, check the elbows, squeeze them. Move the shoulder blades down the back. Parvatasana in Vajrasana. Immediately lift those arms dynamically up to the sky. The face still relaxed, the breathing even. Lift the armpits up to the sky. Lift the waist upwards. And then find the kidneys in the back and lift them upwards too. And then bringing the arms down and undoing the interlock. Taking a block and taking a strap, coming to Supta Padangusthasana. Preparing already your loop. You want it to be about this big in the strap. And coming to lie down in Supta Tadasana. The inner feet lined up. Feeling your evenness. And now lifting the right leg up and putting that loop on the arch of the foot. And both of our hands are going to hold the loop, Re-roll this left thigh in, heel pressing down, leg firm. And with this hand, pull the loop down so that your sensation travels down the leg, the knee is firm, the thigh muscles are firm, gripped around the bone, and the head of the femur bone is coming deeply into the hip socket. Keep pulling the femur bone coming into that hip socket as you pull. So it's more about that action than bringing the leg towards you. One more time with the exhale, really pull. And then releasing through Supta Tadasana and changing sides. Strap on the left foot, on the arch of the foot, straighten the leg. Roll this right thigh in, press the heel down, feel the muscles firm. This left leg is firm, the knee is gripped, the thighs are wrapped around the bone. And with our hands, we're pulling down all the way through the leg until we feel the femur bone being pounded into the hip socket. Go into that over and over again. Look for that sensation. And then releasing and Supta Tadasana. Taking the block now, it's going to come close to our outer hip. Bending the right knee, loop on the arch of the foot. This time just the right hand is holding the loop. Check that your block is still pressing against the outer thigh here. And bringing the leg towards us and out to the side, towards us and out to the side. And see how that block is beautifully supporting the outer hip, giving us a new experience of lateral Supta Padangusthasana. Keep trying to pull this right foot higher and higher up towards the shoulder. So we don't want the foot to be below the hip. It's better to be higher off the floor and have the foot closer to the shoulder than be closer to the floor and have the foot below the hip. Squeeze the knees. Absorb the outside edge of that right thigh in towards the thigh bone. The left heel is firm. The face is relaxed. The brow is clear. And then bringing the leg back up and releasing Supta Tadasana. Moving the block now to the left hand side. Left leg up. Left hand holds the loop. Firm the right leg. And beginning our descent. Squeeze the knees, wrap the muscles around the bones, push out through the balls of the feet, and absorb the outside edge of that left thigh over and over again. Squeeze it up towards the outer thigh bone. Soft, smooth inhalations, soft, smooth exhalations. The temples flowing into the hairlines. The legs firm, the abdomen relaxed. And bring the leg back up and exhale, releasing. Just moving the block to the side now, Supta Tadasana. Right leg lifting, loop on the foot, left hand holding, Parivrita Supta Padangusthasana. Bring the leg towards us and across. And the same action of trying to bring the foot as high up towards the shoulder as possible. I can use the little plant pot here to press my heel against. Perfect. Firm the inner knees. Keep the left heel pressing into the mat. And try to roll the abdomen from the left to the right. Turn the head to the right. And then bring the leg back up and Supta Tadasana. Left leg bending. Loop around, right hand holds the strap. Parivrita Supta Parangusthasana. Over, bringing that foot as high up towards the shoulder as possible, so it's in line as much as possible with the shoulder. The legs are firm. Left arm extended. Keep that right heel pressing down. And begin to turn the abdomen from the right to the left, over and over again. Relax the face. And now turn the head to the left, following the abdomen and following the left arm. And then bring the leg back up and exhale, releasing. Rolling over to the right, coming up. Bharavajasana, so we need 2 blocks. One to sit on and one for our hand behind. So I'm going to show you from the front first, and then I'm going to move into the position. First of all, the block that you're sitting on goes like this. The other block is behind. We'll be twisting to the right first. So we bring our legs to the left and sit on the block. This top foot, the front of the foot, is resting on the arch of the bottom foot. The knees facing forward. Then we turn to the right and place that back hand on the block and move it across a little bit. So it's already helping us to twist. And then this arm extends. Exhale, palm to the thigh, and both hands are tractioning and turning and twisting us to the right. So go ahead and get set up. I'm going to change around to this side so that I'm on the mat. And here we are, Bharavajasana. Keep pressing the weight into the left buttock. Let each inhale lengthen the front spine, lifting, and each exhale turning. Really use both hands equally. They each have a role to play. Try to move this block back more and more. And as you press the fingertips down into this back block, lift that side chest. So instead of sinking it like this, lift it and roll that shoulder back and bring the outer arm back with each exhale. Keep sitting on the left buttock, turning, twisting, and releasing. Changing sides, Bharavajasana. So we're twisting to the left, the feet and the legs come to the right, the top of this foot is resting in the arch of the foot, and then of course we want to move the block back so it's already ready. Bringing that left hand back, finding the block. Already press into the fingertips and activate the left side, lifting up and rolling the shoulder back. And then stretching the right arm, palm to the thigh, and pressing between both hands, turning and twisting. Each inhale, lengthening the spine. Each exhale, twisting. And as we twist, remember to press into the fingertips, press into the palm, and lift up. And then roll the shoulders back and roll the outer arms back. Each exhale, twist, and coming to the other side again. Bharavajasana. Changing the feet, changing the legs. They're to the left now, the knees facing forward. Now really feel your weight moving into the left buttock, avoiding its tendency to lift up. Press it down, move the block back, fingertips preparing, left arm, and exhale. Stay active. Keep moving deeper and deeper. Lift the side ribs, lift the chest. Move the outer arms back and follow that right bent elbow. Press and turn. And letting go, changing sides. Moving the feet across, changing which foot is resting on the arch of the other foot. Moving the block back. Now just feel the weight coming into the right buttock. Press it down. And then bringing the left fingertips to the block behind us. The right arm prepares. And exhale, dynamic. As we press down, lift the side ribs up. Lift the chest up. And roll the outer arms back. Each exhale bringing more yieldingness. Keep those arms, those fingertips, those hands firm to help you to twist more. And exhale and releasing. All right, putting the blocks here on each side of the mat. So they'll be waiting for us when we want them in a few poses. And come and stand in Tadasana, facing the long edge of the mat. Utthita Trikonasana, preparing to jump or step. Then going wider than you're used to. Roots of the thighs firm, pushing into the outside edges of the feet by lifting the inner arches. Going to the right first. Stretch that back arm. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, reach to the right. Really reach, lengthening the right waist, roots of the thighs firm, and finding Utthita Trikonasana. Keep lifting the back inner arch of the foot, the back inner ankle, pushing firmly into the outside edge of the foot. Lift the inner knee to the outer knee. Lift the back inner groin to the outer groin. Turning and twisting, finding the Baddha Vajrasana action, the twisting action in the trunk. And then inhaling up. Hands on the hips. And turning to the middle. Making sure the feet have stayed wide. That the inner arches are lifting. That you're pushing into the outside edges of the feet. And preparing for the left-hand side. Lifting the arms, stretching them apart, turning, roots of the thighs firm. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale to the left. Lengthening that left waist. Roots of the thighs firm. Keep lengthening. And then finding Utthita Trikonasana. Travel to the back foot, lift the inner ankle, lift the inner arch of the foot in order to better press the outer foot down into the mat. Lift the inner knee to the outer knee. Lift the inner groin to the outer groin. The roots of the thighs firm. And find the twistingness of Baddha Vajrasana, turning to the sky, each exhale twisting. And then inhaling up. Hands to the hips, turning the feet back in, toes slightly turned in, heels slightly turned out. Reconnect with the outside edges of the feet, elbows back, soft smooth inhale, soft smooth exhale. Coming now through Virabhadrasana 2 and then into Parshvakonasana where we might use the blocks. So preparing the arms, lift. Turning to the right, nice wide feet. Grip the roots of the thighs, push into the outside edge of that back foot, lift the chest. Exhale. Come down as deep as you can, make sure this inner knee isn't coming in. Stretch the back arm, turn the head forward. Keep the heels firm. Now place the right hand on the inner knee and place the left hand on the back hip. With this hand, turn and twist like your Baddha Vajrasana and move that elbow back. Turn the head to follow that action. Keep that twistingness And come down and lay the right waist, on the length of that right thigh. Getting length there, twisting. And now hand to the block. And stretch the top arm to the sky. Check in with the outside edge of the back foot. Squeeze the back inner knee. Lift the back inner groin. Turn and twist. Now turn the top arm and extend. Full Parshvakonasana. Each exhale twisting. Squeeze the back inner knee. Roots of the thighs firm and absorbing the femur bones into the hip socket. The arm back up, coming back up, hands on the hips and turning the feet back in. Relift the inner arches, the inner ankles, push into the outside edges of the feet, elbows back. Soft, smooth inhale, soft, smooth exhale. And now extending the arms, stretching them apart, lifting the chest. Preparing for the left-hand side. Roots of the thighs firm. Stretch that back arm. Inhale. Exhale. Coming down nice and deeply so that as much as possible this thigh is parallel to the floor, the inner knee pushing out. Re-stretch the back arm, push into the outside edge of the back foot and turn the head over the front arm. Keep pulling the back arm back. And now bring this front hand onto the inner knee, bend the back arm, hold the back hip. With this front hand, you're pushing to traction, to turn, and this back elbow is moving back, following that, following all of that rotation. Keep squeezing the back inner knee. And now laying that left waist along that left thigh, creating as much length as possible. And then taking the block, hand on the block, turning, twisting, and stretch the top arm to the sky. Check in with your back foot. And then the back inner knee, squeeze it tightly. Keep the front heel firm. Push the outer thigh against the arm. Turn and twist. Then turn the top arm and extend to the full pose. Each exhale creating more twistingness. Keep squeezing the back inner knee, lifting the back inner groin. Roots of the thighs firm and femur bones coming into the hips as we turn and twist. And then the arm back up and back up. Hands on the hips, turning the feet back in. Lift the inner arches again. Push into the outside edges of the feet. And then heels in, toes in, heels in, toes in. And jump or step the feet together to Tadasana. Soft, smooth inhale. Soft, smooth exhale. And turning now to face the short edge of the mat. We can put this block right here. And move this block out of the way. Standing in front of this block, feet the width of the mat, nice and parallel. Hands on the hips, elbows back. Roots of the thighs firm. As we come forward, pressing into the heels and rolling the inner groins backwards, gripping the knees and the thighs up. When the head drops down, release the hands and hold the elbows and move the upper arms behind the ears. Breathing smoothly, breathing evenly, relax the face. Use the fingertips to pull the elbows down and try to move the armpits towards the elbows. Regrip the legs up. Don't let the quadricep muscles fall down. Keep gripping them up. Pressing into the feet, pressing into the heels, and rolling the inner groins back. And then releasing the elbows, holding onto the sides of the mat with the hands, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Heels lifted, knees bent, eyes of the elbows turning forward. Keep lifting the heels. See if you can bring the head to the block. Keep the knees bent, lift the buttocks higher, stretch the arms. And now begin to straighten the legs, keeping the heels lifted, keeping the eyes of the elbows turning forward. Move the inner groins back, so the sit bones widen and lift. Move the arms to the hands, and move the armpits to the hips. And then bending the knees and coming back down. Now we're going to take both of our blocks and come to Urdhva Mukha. So using the blocks to give the hand a lift, which in turn is going to help us to lift this area up and to lift the kidneys up and the shoulder blades down. Basically to tap into that anti-gravitational liftingness. So let's go ahead and put the hands on the blocks and let's turn the hands open like this so that immediately the eyes of the elbows are facing forward. Positioning ourselves. Roll each thigh in. Come as close to the blocks with your hip bones as possible. The knees on the ground for now. Now press the buttocks down. You don't want to grip and totally contract the buttocks, but you want to press them down and feel the length coming to the front body. Start exploring how you would get more length from the pubic bone all the way up to between the collarbones. Now roll the front shoulders back, but also roll the outer arms back. So let's do that again with the exhale, front shoulders back, and with a strong exhale, outer arms back. And then press the buttocks down again. Press into the tops of the feet and lift the knees off the mat. Now as you press the arms down into the blocks, feel yourself lifting taller, 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 getting taller, taller. Outer arms back, shoulder blades down the back, and the sternum moving forward. So to get the sternum moving forward, you've really got to press into the tops of the feet and press that sternum forward from that action. And then exhale, knees to the ground, widening the knees apart, turning the toes under. Yoga Mudrasana, drawing the navel back to the lower back. Soft, smooth inhale, soft, smooth exhale. Broaden the shoulders, relax the face. And back up, our second one. So adjusting the blocks and turning our hands open. Eyes of the elbows facing forward. Coming into position. The thighs rolling in. Bringing our front hip bones as close as we can to the blocks. And trying to avoid that tendency where the buttocks lift up. Press the buttocks forward And lift the pubic bone up to the belly button. Lift the belly button up to the solar plexus up to the sternum plate, and so forth. Feel that length coming. Now press into the tops of the feet and straighten the legs. Feel all 10 toes. Now press down into the hands and lift up from there. Moving the front shoulders back and moving the outer arms back. Shoulder blades down the back. Now find that connection where the front feet press, the roots of the femur bones come into the hip, and we push the sternum forward, the outer arms coming back. Press those back ribs forward. And releasing. Hands, knees to the ground. Turn the toes under. The Yoga Mudrasana and Vajrasana with the toes turned under. As we move the hips back, we lift the belly button up and we keep it lifted to support the lower back. Soft, smooth inhale, soft, smooth exhale. Relax the eyes, relax the forehead, relax the ears. Keep stretching the arms. And then coming back up and releasing. Okay, moving one block to the side and taking a strap again. Supta Padangusthasana. From Supta Tadasana, lining the inner feet up. The buttocks moving towards the heels, so the lower back is coming close to the ground. Bend that right knee. Hold the loop with both hands. Push out the length of the right leg, and with the hands pull and pound the head of that right femur bone into the hip socket. And then release that. Slide the hands down the strap. The arms are straight. Reconnect with your left heel. And now begin to draw that leg towards you whilst trying to keep the integration of the femur bone into the hip socket. Stretch the arms, and with the arms stretched, bring the armpits towards the hands. Feel the waist lengthening, the ribs broadening. And then bringing the leg back up. Move that block in to the side of the hip. Lateral Supta Padangusthasana. The hand holds the loop. And in we come. Keeping the foot nice and high. Squeeze the outside edge of that right thigh up into the pose. And extend out through the leg. Press the front of this left thigh down. Now turn and twist the abdomen, the trunk, and the head to the left. And then bringing the leg back up. And releasing. Supta Tadasana. Moving the block in preparation. And the left leg lifting. Loop on. Both hands hold the loop. We're starting with the pounding action. Roll this right thigh in, heel firm. And with these hands, pull and pound the head of the femur bone into the hips. Draw it in. And now slide the hands down the strap. Stretching the arms, stretching the legs, stretching the waist. With the vibrance of the arms, try to move the armpits towards the elbows, towards the hands. Bring the leg closer, closer. Keep that integrity of the femur bone coming into the hip socket. And then leg back up, bringing the block into the outer hip. Left hand holds the strap. Right arm extended, coming to lateral Supta Padangusthasana. Observing the movement on the way down. Gripping the legs. Bringing the foot as high as possible towards the left shoulder. And sucking the outside edge of that left thigh upwards. Right heel firm, face relaxed, pubic bone broadening. Each exhale now, turning the abdomen to the right, turning the head to the right, looking down the length of that right arm. The legs still firm. The entire trunk turning away from that left leg. And then bringing the leg back up and exhale and releasing. Rolling over to the side and coming to sitting. And then we're now going to need a wall, a bolster, and a strap. So you want to move your mat in so that it's perpendicular to the wall. Have a bolster ready and make a loop in your strap so that your legs can come in and your legs are hip distance apart. We're going to do supported Shalabhasana. It's wonderful. This bolster is here for our bottom ribs. We don't want our abdomen to be on the bolster. And our shins and our feet are going to be against the wall. The strap is holding the thighs parallel. So coming in like this. Let's move the strap out of the way. So shins and feet up the wall, moving the knees back. Coming down. So here you can see that the bolster's underneath my abdomen, so I have to move it forward. There we go. Okay, press into these forearms on the mat in order to lift the ribs up and move them further forward over the bolster. Press the buttocks down. Now place the hands on the mat and move the elbows back so they're pressing into the bolster. And from that action, press the hands down and forward. As we press the hands down and forward, we can lift the chest up, roll the front shoulders back. Now we stretch the arms back, and then we bring the feet towards us, hold onto the front ankles, flex the feet, keep rolling the front shoulders back, buttocks down, and try to move the feet back to the wall. Femur bones coming into the hip sockets. And from that action, press the sternum open, the shoulder blades going down the back. Face relaxed, body fully alert. And then releasing. And hands back to the mat, taking a breath here. Relaxing the face, relaxing the shoulders. Second one. So the hands are on the mat. We're moving them back so that the elbows connect with the bolster. From that action of pushing against the bolster, the hands press down and forward, and from that, we peel and lift the chest up. The outer arms moving back. The shoulder blades moving down the back. Buttocks pressing down. We're now going to bring the arms back. Bend the knees, take hold of the fronts of the ankles. Flex the feet. Outer arms back. And bring the feet towards the wall. Press if you can against the wall. The femur bones coming into the hip sockets. And from that, scoop the shoulders back and the sternum plate forward. Shoulder blades going down the back. Chest lifting to the sky. And then releasing the front ankles. Hands coming forward. And coming out. Turning the bolster this way. Letting those straps come off the legs. And coming to a supported Yoga Mudrasana in Vajrasana. So we want to bring this bolster in deeply. Holding the front ribs as we come forward so that we can bring length. Holding onto our elbows. And the forehead resting on the forearms. Soft, smooth inhalations. Soft, smooth exhalations. Moving the inner elbows forward. Relaxing the face. Now changing the cross of the arms. And Yoga Mudrasana. And it's now time for Shavasana. So we're going to do Shavasana with the bolster underneath our knees to make sure that our lower backs are really allowing themselves to be supported by the earth, and that the abdomen can then have a chance to pool and melt and completely release its grippingness. If you know that you like to use a blanket under the neck and head, go ahead and take that. If you like to have something over your eyes, go ahead and take that too. As we lie down, stopping halfway and just moving the hips towards the bolster so that when we lie down, we're really feeling that tilt of the pelvis, the lower back connecting, the abdomen receding. Extending the arms diagonally away. Rolling the front shoulders and the outer arms back. And moving the shoulder blades down the back. And then gently closing the eyelids. And with an exhalation, letting go of everything. And then bringing the hands and resting them on the front hip bones. And then pressing the palms together. Ending with our loving kindness meditation, sending that love, that peace back out to the world. Loka samastaha sukhinho bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And when you feel ready, rolling over to the right hand side. And then using the hands to push ourselves back out, the eyelids opening. Welcome back. Our practice is complete. Congratulations on showing up for yourselves. A little bit every day, that constant discipline leads us to another place. Namaste. I hope we practice again together soon.